You ready for Solomon's Porch Podcast? Hey, giving the glory to God. Yeah, you're hanging with Jason and Sean. You ready for Solomon's Porch?
My favorite really thing was in chapter 2, but let's jump into that real quick.
All right, so chapter 2, new species. Not totally new species, but we really hadn't seen them outside of Bosk. But the Trandoshans, I think I'm saying that right. Anyway, it's the lizard-type creature that Bosk, who was introduced to us in Empire Strikes Back. That we're seeing more of that species, and that's pretty cool. And they're much more flexible than what Bosk seemed to have been. And then the Mudhorn, which is a rhino-like creature, kind of like the Reek from episode 2.
Yeah.
Different enough. It's hairy, and it doesn't have the side horns coming down, and its center horn is really huge, but very similar-esque. And those are really the only two new ones that we get introduced to that we haven't ever seen more so in anything else. The good of the show, I like the extra Jawa culture that took place. You know, they're sitting down to be able to haggle out stuff, and that was kind of neat.
Well, they only steal, they don't destroy. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, and then their passion for this egg that they're hunting for. Yeah, so
ooh, yummy.
Yeah. Which they call egg is suka or suga. See, I've gotten both. Right. I tried to research it. I think more people are saying suka than suga, but anyway, for whatever that's worth. The awesome of it, the baby using the Force.
You know what feeling I got? It wasn't quite the same because I knew it was coming.
Right.
In Endgame when Kat picked up the hammer.
Right.
Mjolnir.
Yeah.
That's what I almost felt like. It was like, okay, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, it's coming.
Especially seeing it rise slowly. I almost had the same feel.
Yeah. Well, and it was kind of alluded to that it may have some Force-like abilities with the touching and that sort of thing. And was the cradle moving by itself, or was it just by the... Because we didn't really get a good idea as to whether or not that it was the Mandalorian that was controlling the crib until later.
Until episode 2, I think.
Well, yeah,
the fight.
Until chapter 2, and yeah. So, anyway, baby using the Force, freaking awesome.
Oh, talk about. I think it's interesting they're calling it a chapter, not episode.
Yeah.
I think that was a smart move.
I think it was too. Yeah, absolutely. The blow my mind is the rifle when he starts taking pot shots at the Jawas. They disintegrate in a most awesome and epic way. I think they need to make a video game for your cell phone, like a new sniper game of just the Mando taking out Jawas. That would be, I'd pay money for that game.
Well, and that was a throwback to episode 5, whenever Darth Vader was telling Boba Fett, no disintegrations this time.
Right, yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
So, some of my favorite little nods in there was... So the Mandalorian's on the side of the crawler and is trying to be scraped off by the Jawas by rock feature on going down the path they were going down, which is a nod to Indiana Jones, where he's on the tank, Nazi tank. So that was kind of cool. Baby Yoda tries to heal the Mando with a touch like E.T., which I've already kind of discussed. So those were some of my favorites.
I think my favorite was probably the end where Mando's like rocking the little cradle.
Yeah.
You know, to me that just, it just shows he's kind of going into dad mode.
Yeah. He has a concern for sure.
That and then seeing Yoda being concerned for him. Yeah. You see the different parts where like his ears perk up and then they droop down at concern, and you see the different responses. And which is, Yoda was kind of similar in the way he did his ears. So to me, it was interesting to see that, you see that connection that's being built,
right?
Even without dialogue.
Well, and we're definitely seeing a fatherly kind of thing coming from the Mando, stemming from his foundling background kind of thing. So,
well, I guess it's kind of for me. Was the fact that he's not officially deemed, he doesn't have his marking signet yet, but he's supposed to be the best Mandalorian in the parsec. I don't understand how he's the best if he doesn't even have a signet. That, and I also heard that Boba Fett wasn't actually part of the guild at all.
Yeah, as far as I know, he wasn't part of the guild. I could be wrong on some of the literature canon.
Right.
But as far as I know, he never was. But he also wasn't really Mandalorian either.
Right, exactly.
So-
he just wore the garb.
Right.
And
So-
it looked like I guess
because
it
he was a
pieced together.
clone.
Yeah, yeah. So,
So-
anyway,
So the other Hans, Baby Yoda swallows a duck lizard and burps. I think that that's actually a little nod to the puppetry from the TV show Dinosaurs. It's a little bit before your time, but there was a baby dinosaur, and it like its famous thing was to like burp or
I don't think I know what you're
fart
talking
or
about.
something, and it would reply with "I'm the baby, gotta love me,"
Yeah.
which was super annoying. But anyway, it did kind of remind me of that. And why did he need a blurg to get to the encampment if he could walk back from the encampment?
Yeah.
Why was it necessary? I don't know. Anyway, the only best quote thing that I could pull out was "Suka, suka, suka." So the Jawas chanting for eggs, and I didn't have any favorite new characters. So
No, the best quotes of the whole thing for me was "I have spoken."
I have spoken.
To me, that's just.
Good point. Very well
start.
taken.
I'm gonna start telling all the nurses at my job.
I
Whenever
have
I say
spoken.
something, I'm gonna say "I have spoken."
Don't even bother coming back with anything.
I'm gonna
I
tell my
have
director
spoken.
that. She probably won't get it.
No, probably not. Probably not like it too much. Just a quick side note, though, is that so far we've seen, if we were to take the shot from Empire Strikes Back, where we have the list of all of the the lineup of bounty hunters. So we've seen human bounty hunters. We've seen the IG unit. We've seen a guy in Mandalorian armor and a Trandoshian from that lineup. So all we're missing right now is a Forlom character. So a bounty hunting protocol droid, so similar in that it's a droid unit. And then Zuckus, which is a insect species called the Gand. So
I was thinking about it. I'm gonna have to read my bounty hunter code book now.
I think you should.
I'm gonna have to read
you
it.
should.
I should have read it before this, but
But so yeah, so I think that's what we're looking at, and I'm excited. I told you I was going to be excited before this came out. I'm even more excited now, and these are my thoughts. This is what I like about it.
yeah, I've seen a lot of people say that this is kind of respawning their love for Star Wars.
Absolutely.
I think the second trilogy, the prequels,
Yeah.
people threw up,
Right.
and even the newer ones people don't like. Probably more specifically for Episode 8.
Yeah.
But in general, though, people just the diehard Star Wars fans from 4, 5, and 6 seem to be losing their interest
Right.
with all the new stuff,
Sure.
and so this series has really kind of just spawned up this new love.
Well, and most of the people that I know that kind of fit in that category still like Rogue One a whole lot because it's a side story.
Gotcha.
You know, I still even like Solo better than most of the other new stuff. Of course, I'm still an original trilogy fan. 6 still kind of falls somewhere further down the line.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Mando definitely ranks up there high for me now. So I'm very pleased. I knew that. Yeah. What's his name? Produced it.
Oh, Jon Favreau.
Thank you. I can't want to say Kevin Feige. Oops.
He's
The-
producing a Star Wars.
The
film.
Jon Favreau was going to deliver on this, and I think he has.
So, question:
Big kudos.
how do you feel about them having a big time actor playing the Mandalorian but never showing his face?
I
As
think,
Pedro Pascal, I mean, he's a well known actor.
yeah, but he's not as well known.
I mean, not as well known. He's not, Tom Cruise or anything, but people still know who he is. But just the fact that he's never taking that, and there was even that question in the very beginning in the chapter 1, where he was like, "Is it true you never take your helmets
Yeah,
off?"
the Mythrol says it. Yeah, and then even Khalil says something about might help you to write it if you the blurg if you took your helmet off. Yeah, no, I think it's great. Honestly, I think that if anything, it'll show his acting ability even more.
Right.
Having done some stage acting with a mask. And specifically for a deaf audience who is heavily reliant on expressions, being able to pull that off through a mask or a helmet, I think that's pretty epic. So I think it shows his acting chops.
I think it was cool that also that I thought the Apparently, there were a lot of what was it? The holiday. The
Life
Star
Day.
Wars, Life Day.
Yeah.
There were a couple references to that.
Yeah, there was.
Which I never saw it, but I caught the references because of what you have told me about it.
Yeah.
So that was interesting, and the Chewie reference or the Wookiee reference. You sound like a Wookiee trying to speak
Right.
The language of the Jawas, and but also
which was hilarious. That was good.
Also, I didn't realize this, but apparently Mandalorians don't really have an understanding of Jedi ability or the Force in general. Which they were saying that part of the reason why he seemed kind of almost confused. I mean, in a way, a confused look can be with the mask on, the helmet on. But whenever Yoda was lifting up, or Baby Yoda was lifting up the was it Mythosaur?
No, the Mudhorn.
Mudhorn. But it was like he was looking like he didn't know what to expect or what it was. And so, but I don't know. You know more about it, but
well, the other thing to that is that you have to remember that this is 5 years after the fall of the Empire. So when this guy was probably coming up, at best he had heard of Darth Vader, Luke, and these were probably such big characters so far away. Galaxy far away
right.
from his living and his understanding of anything that it didn't really apply. So, in general, as to whether or not Mandalorians know about the Force, I mean, they've worked with Jedi historically throughout the Clone Wars. So, I mean, they've had contact with Jedis quite intimately, actually.
So would you consider, like, the clones to be Mandalorians? Is that what they're considered?
No.
Okay.
No. Just that during the Clone Wars, that time frame.
Okay.
Of the Clone Wars.
Gotcha.
That at least from the animated series, we get a lot of Obi-Wan Kenobi specifically working with the Mandalorians. So
I'm only in season 2, so I'm still
okay. Yeah. So the Mandalorians in general are not ignorant to. But have they become, or have some of them become, because of isolation and due to time? I think so.
Well,
I think it'd be like when Han's like, I don't believe in that mumbo jumbo.
Right.
He at least has heard of the Force, but he also gets around.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
All right, cool. Well, that's our extended review of The Mandalorian. I don't know how much of that's going to hit YouTube, but I'm about to split it up into 2 pieces.
You might have to.
So anyway, man, let us know what y'all think in the comments. If you enjoyed it, all of your favorite things, you're good, awesome, blow my mind. And looking forward to chapter 3.
Absolutely,
the
yeah.
They're already recording. They're already shooting the second season.
Yeah,
so that's
which
exciting.
is epic. So, yeah, and don't forget you can get the 7-day free trial. So if you're not ready to really dive head into it, then at least you can do that.
Do us a favor, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I never say that because I never think about it.
To our YouTube
channel. We talk a lot of Christian things, Star Wars, geeky stuff, whatever. If you listen to the podcast, but you can subscribe, do that as well. Head to SolomonSportsPodcast.com, all that good stuff. We will see y'all next time. Always remember, Jesus loves you way more than we do.
Peace.